Welcome to Tech Time. Today we are going to be taking a look inside this front BMX hub and see what the current state is. So once I put on my gloves, I will show you guys what tools we're going to be needing for this. What you are going to need for this service is 2 adjustable wrenches or normal wrenches that are the correct size. You might need 2 of the same exact ones. That's why I like adjustables. You're gonna need a cone wrench. This is just a homemade one. So you're gonna need 1 or 2 of the same size, depending on the size of your cone. This is optional, but a pick. I like a pick because I can easily take out ball bearings. You can take a look at seals and stuff. Going to need a rag or some sort of cloth to clean stuff out with, and you're going to need some grease. Bike specific is probably the best for this. Of course, you can use any kind. There might be some other tools I forgot about, but you'll see in the rest of the video. Okay, so I have already taken off the nut to hold on to the frame and the little dropout secures. Don't know the proper names, but hopefully that terminology makes sense. So what you're gonna need to do is latch on to the top nut, the lock nut, and then so kind of like this. Put this one on the big lock nut, and then put your cone wrench on the bottom thing, which is called the cone. You're going to want to get the cone wrench into the dropouts, and oof, this is tight. Probably would make sense since this has not probably been opened since it's been manufactured, so might be a little tight. That's okay. It's now loose. I want to undo this one. So I have not been in here before this, so there might be some things that I didn't prepare for, but we will learn together. I want to take this lock nut all the way off. Takes quite a while, but okay. So you will see that there are teeth on both sides. This, as you can see, the color of my fork on my BMX, it's red. So this side gripped into the frame, or fork, and then this side locked against that. So we'll put that in a safe spot. And then what's left is the cone. If it's tight, which it shouldn't be, because this is the tight part, but you should be able to unscrew this by hand. And depending on your style of cone, oh yes, big bearings. Well, you will see dust seal, which I'm pretty sure you can take off, but I don't think I'm going to need to in this. So you will take this out. I think I might see some pitting, but we'll see for sure. So you can see here, where's my pick? All this dried grease almost looks like, I don't know, like disgusting caramel. And yeah, so here, as you get a ballpoint pen. See. Ooh, one big pit. Here, let me clean that out for you guys so then you can see it. Okay. So oh, my pick is dirty. So you can see here, little notch, and it catches on the pick as it runs by it. Not good, but I do not have any spare parts. Interesting. So you're gonna want to clean this out. I'll use a paper towel because I don't want to get my rags all dirty. Interesting, there's like hair in here. That is weird. Wouldn't have liked to get my hair caught in this, but mine's very short, so I don't think I'll have that problem. But whoever owned this before me, what's this with a side of the road bike, or the manufacturer who put this together, got the hair stuck in it. That wouldn't feel good. I don't know. A little disgusting, but yeah. So it's not the cleanest thing in the world. I'll give it a more in-depth clean when I take the other cone out. So here, I will empty my little magnetic tray. It's a simple homemade one. A little magnet in the back. Secure stuff in like that. It doesn't fall, which is nice. So I am going to get my pick. Normally a magnet would work just fine. Let's try that. Ooh, that really works. Oh, bearing ball fell. I will pick that up next. And there we go. First, oh wait, nope. Man, 2 bearing balls fell. Unless that's from the other side. But, here, let's get that last bearing out, if it will come. The axle is hitting against it, making it squeeze against it. So, here. Reattach that magnet. Bearing balls are in. So then, I want to get some more paper towel and wipe inside. Oh, you know what's happening? Bearing balls are falling out from the other side. So, might as well take them out. Not the best idea. Probably shouldn't have done that. Put the wheel to the side. And collect all the bearing balls. You will probably want to put them in some solvent to clean them out, or maybe in the future replace them, because depending on their wear. We're gonna get our paper towel or rag and try to clean this out. Again, it's very disgusting. Let's move the tools to the side. Some very hard, crusty stuff. Disgusting. But pretty sure you see this ring. It is called a dust seal, and on sealed ones, this is not technically. There would be another ring. Maybe the rim has one in it. I don't think so. But it would be another ring like this, but it would be a little bit bigger. And so the outer, there would be a one almost like that, but flipped upside down. So when they would press into each other, the bigger one would go around it, create a little pocket for dust and dirt and grime to get in. Well, for it to stay in and not just go straight into the bearings. Yeah, you world, that's what it is. So yeah, let's clean this up. I'll grab my little tub that I like to use, put solvent junk in it. I have a little bit of old stuff, so I'll dump it into my little garbage bin. See, it's not the cleanest bucket. Use that for an old parts bin. I will use some WD-40 Specialist Degreaser. I don't know if it's the right stuff or not, but I've used it on lots of things and it's fine. I know Part Tool makes some nice solvent, so yeah, just spray them down. Probably should put this in. And then where did that cone? And then I have a little old toothbrush. And you scrub these things down. Also good for like style points, you can always clean the outside. But I think, yep, this is going to do the job. The nice thing about toothbrushes is that they get into there. This one was an old one, very, very old, so it has really hard bristles, stiff bristles, and it gets the gunk out. Clean the lock ring. Probably isn't necessary, but I'm gonna scrub on this, some of that old grease out. I assume they used some cheap stuff because it seems to have gunked up. Or I don't know, I've used the Park Tool PPL-1 stuff. It's thick, nice, it's interesting color green. But it works, that's good. So I will take these out, place them on a paper towel over here. It's a little dirty, but it'll work. Then I'm gonna grab another little bit of paper towel. Yeah, I'm almost out. And I'm going to grab them, bearing balls. I'm gonna wipe them down a bit because there's grease, the old kind. I'm gonna stick them back onto my little magnetic tray or bowl. Wipe them down. If you can let them air dry, that's probably the best thing, but give them a little wipe, let them dry. So I should have counted the amount of bearing balls on each side, but oh well. Well, once we get into the installation, I will show you how to do it. Yep. Maybe around halfway done. Also, if you have new bearing balls, you can probably, well, depending on the wear, these are still fairly glossy. But if they were old and not so shiny, you would probably want to replace them. I don't think this bike is too old. I don't know, it's a Hyper, some sort of BMX bike. I custom painted it, nothing too fancy, but yeah. But getting back on the track with bearings, which were done with washing, should probably find a good place to dispose of this, or you can just let it sit and hopefully the junk will stay at the bottom. So I'll move that over to a safe place where it won't dump, and we'll get this back up. Probably going to not want to put solvent in here because it will be hard to get it back out. and it could affect grease. Yeah, look at that. Disgust. Ugh. Take the ballpoint pen again. Run it in. Nothing. Just good, no pitting. Isn't the cleanest, but I can always come back and do that. Clean this out. Again, isn't the cleanest, but we can deal with it. So, take this back down. I'm going to get another paper towel or any shop towel, and we're going to dry this stuff by hand because you don't want any solvent in when you put the grease in, because that will get rid of the grease and it will completely defeat the purpose of the grease. Yeah, the outside isn't the cleanest, but inside is nice and shiny. It's good. Okay. Almost ready for the installation. So you see, don't want to do that now, but what it would be, ball bearings will sit in the hub, and they'll rotate around this, and yeah. So now that this is clean, you can probably see the spot where this pitted. See, right, the silver line is where the bearings have worn against, which is normal, but this little spot, right here, little spot is where a bearing ball just stood, well, rolled, and it didn't move around, it just rolled. That's what pitting is. So that's not good, but I don't have a spare part or cone. Ooh, some more small spots. But when I took this, or before I took it apart, it didn't seem to be that bad. So I can probably get away with not doing it. But if it's anything worse, like that's pretty bad. Maybe sometime I will do that. Replace it. So probably gonna want to wipe off your gloves or put on a new pair. I trying to be a little eco-friendly and save myself a little money and just wipe these off. Next, you're gonna want to get out some sort of grease that's for bearings. Again, I use the Park Tool PPL-1, a good thick grease. Again, this is the green color, which I think is interesting. But what we're gonna do is you're gonna put a good amount. So you can, of course you can have too much grease, but especially since it'll probably be quite some time before I do this again, which isn't necessarily good of myself, but I'm going to want to wipe this around, the grease around, and then put the bearings balls in. Some bearings might be, well, one went right down. Where'd that one go? Uh-oh. That's not good. This rim is hollow on the inside, but it's, there we go. It's a little wider on the inside, and so there's a little lip, and the bearing balls like to get caught in that. But I don't know if this is for if they have it on BMX, since I'm not, I don't primarily ride BMX, but sometimes the bearing balls are attached to each other with a little, I don't know, brace or something. You'll know it when you see it, because when you try to take one out, the whole thing will come out. So here, let's try one more, see if, okay. So if you try to, okay, so we know we're at our limit. because when you try to push another bearing in, bearing ball doesn't go in. So we're going to put some more grease on top because the grease is kind of like glue. Well, not glue, but it's holding it in for us. There you go. And don't need to grease this since there's a bunch of grease in here. So try to put it straight down, lift it up, so then no bearing balls get moved around. So now we're on the other side, and we have to repeat the process. Probably should have put grease in it before I put the axle in, but oh well. It's gonna be a little harder. I want to get my pick in there after, or a screwdriver. Probably a pick. Where did it go? Okay. We're gonna push it down. If I had a little paintbrush, that probably would be good, but I don't have that. My finger's too big for that. If you have really small fingers, which that would be some small fingers, I tell you, you could probably go in and wipe it around. Now it's time for the bearing balls. Again, if we did it right on the other side, we will have no more bearing balls. Otherwise, magic happened and it duplicated, or we did something wrong. Oh, that would not be good. So, push them in. Smaller bearing balls. I can use the pick. It's like a little chair for it to move. If you're missing a bearing ball, that's not good. But I think I am good. Last two bearing balls. Boop. Pop. In they go. Time for a second layer of grease. Then we are almost done. Then, this time we're gonna have to thread it on. Just takes some time all the time. Make sure you do not, you don't move or push the skewer or the axle too far back, because on the other side the bearing balls might come out, but the grease, if you put a good amount, shouldn't happen. So we're going to screw this on, and then we'll do a cone adjustment, which, depending on first try, we might have to do a few times. So the little ridge, or the cone part, looks like kind of like an ice cream cone, pushes into the bearings, which applies pressure. Too tight, it'll cause excess wear and pitting. Too loose, it'll also cause wear, and the balls will be moving around, and you will feel it in your front or rear wheel. But for this one, this is a front wheel. I will either have out or another video on the rear hub, which is a little different. I have a problem with to the same bike, so expect another video on this. So, nice thing about having multiple ones of these, so you have one for bearings and you have one for other parts. So, teeth on both sides. If yours doesn't have teeth, or your teeth are worn out on one side, you're going to want to put either side with no teeth on that side, these little grooves, or the ones that are worn out against the cone. So then you have a new fresh pair of these teeth against the frame, the fork, when you install it. This goes on nice and easy. So time for some cone adjustments. So take your cone wrench, again this is not a real one, and tighten it, these two against each other, and feel. I have no play, but this is, I don't know, pretty slow. I don't know if it's because of the grease. You can kind of hear the grease moving around. So, and yes, this axle has a little bend in it, but it should be fine. So I'm gonna try to back this out a bit. The cone, that is. See what happens? It's very, very wobbly. So we're going to move this in, give it a little shake. Again, it's too loose. Going to tighten it some more. Little flex. Say like that. No flex. So hold the cone in with this wrench and then tighten it against it. Kind of want it pretty tight. Don't want this coming loose. That might not be good. And you see, teeny little bit of play, but when this gets secured into the bike, should be good. So then you put these on. Oh, boop. I won't tighten this in to save you guys some time. That, and then that. Oh. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll have another video out relatively soon doing the back wheel. That's the one with the gear, or yeah, a gear. It's different for different kinds of bikes, but this is a BMX one, or any one that has a solid axle that is not quick release axle, or a through axle. I do not have a bike with that, so I will not be able to do demonstrations on that. But with that said, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave some likes and some comments. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.